There are more sex assault accusations connected to the case against Sean Diddy Combs. The latest involves hip-hop mogul Jay-Z, who issued a vehement denial.
Hollywood is shaking, and the aftershocks are only just beginning. Sean Diddy Combs, once the king of music and host of the most talked-about parties in showbiz, is now at the center of one of the most explosive scandals to hit the entertainment world in years.
He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties.
His arrest on trafficking for explicit purposes already had jaws dropping. For many years, people suspected something was going on behind Diddy's underground parties.
They feeling great.
So unless you text me their name, I'm not letting security let them in.
Yeah.
Are we aligned?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Here, y'all finish this out.
It's only now, though, that more and more videos of troublesome content are hitting the news. But the latest development has a twist so dark, it's dragging even more of the industry's elite into the storm. Now, the billionaire rap icon, Jay-Z's name is also splashed all across headlines. A lawsuit alleges that he engaged in non-consensual contact with a 13-year-old girl back in 2000, and not alone. The lawsuit claims it was alongside Diddy. Let that sink in. Now, we know Jay-Z and Diddy aren't strangers. Jay appeared on Diddy's 1997 debut album No Way Out and even joined him on the No Way Out tour. These two have performed together, done charity together, and even considered going into business together.
You feeling good?
Oh, you put that thing on the
So you see how we do it here on the Saturdays. This is what it's about to be. Come here, look at my mantras real quick. Be kind.
that one bigger.
Be fearless.
In 2015, Diddy told the press, "Me and Jay, we've talked about it. We said we want to pick the best one." This was a partnership built on money, music, and massive power. Between them, they've stacked up nearly $3.3 billion. Forbes estimates Jay-Z's net worth at a staggering $2.5 billion. Diddy, his was once pegged at around $740 million. They've been photographed side by side countless times with glamorous smiles, arm in arm at the 2020 pre-Grammy Gala, all the way to the 2022 Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony honoring DJ Khaled. But today those photos hit differently because the world's starting to ask, what really went down behind the scenes? While Diddy's under intense scrutiny, with multiple lawsuits over abuse-related legal action and that shocking FBI raid, Jay-Z has kept eerily quiet. But that silence, it's loud, especially to Diddy's longtime frenemy, 50 Cent, who's been roasting the pair like never before. Back in 2024, after the FBI raided Diddy's homes, 50 posted a picture of Jay-Z's face on a milk carton with "missing" scrawled across it. His caption said, "Anybody seen Jay LOL?" And he wasn't done. In May, he doubled down. Jay in hibernation, he ain't coming outside till this shit with Puff blow over, no brunch, no lunch, no dinner. LOL. And while comments like these were going down, Hollywood's inner circle went quiet. The A-listers who partied with Diddy and performed with Jay all just disappeared. But now that Jay-Z is being linked to Diddy's long list of crimes, he's had enough, and he's swinging back hard.
Jay-Z is staying on the offensive, going after not only the attorney who filed the lawsuit against him.
In a fiery statement released in 2024, Jay-Z blasted the jaw-dropping accusations. The hip-hop billionaire didn't just deny the claims, he shredded them, calling the entire lawsuit idiotic and accusing attorney Tony Buzbee of playing dirty in court. He challenged the entire legal strategy, pointing out that if the alleged crime was as horrific as claimed, it should have been filed as a criminal complaint, not a civil lawsuit. His message was crystal clear. If someone really did something that vile, they should be in prison. And there were more people out there who agreed with him on this.
So if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors, and if true, right, you could pursue it criminally.
But you know what was strange? The U.S. Attorney's Office was stone silent. When shown NBC News report, they declined to comment on whether the claims are being investigated. This, of course, marked yet another grenade lobbed at Diddy, who's already drowning in lawsuits that accuse him of heinous crimes. Until now, every plaintiff's identity was hidden. Every case was laser-focused on him. But this time, Jay-Z is in the crosshairs. Diddy's legal team isn't mincing words either. They've dismissed the lawsuits as shameless publicity stunts, claiming they're designed to squeeze money out of celebrities terrified of bad press. In a fresh statement, Diddy's reps insisted the music mogul has never harmed or trafficked anyone, no matter their gender or age. They say he believes in the judicial process and is confident the truth will come out in court. Now, before the latest lawsuit even hit the court, though, Jay-Z received a letter from the accuser's legal team, which was led by Tony Buzbee. This letter basically asked if he'd be willing to go to mediation. That move set off alarm bells for Carter, who didn't just refuse the offer. He came out swinging with a lawsuit of his own against the attorneys making the claim. He called it a terrible error in judgment, warning them not to mistake him for just another celebrity to be played. This was clearly a warning shot. But what really lit a fire under this case? The shocking, stomach-turning details from that alleged incident back in the early 2000s.
The details of these allegations are really troubling. The plaintiff here alleges that Sean Combs and Jay-Z her and then her.
The lawsuit claimed that the incident happened in 2000, following the MTV Video Music Awards in New York. It was then that the 13-year-old girl, known only as Jane Doe, was brought to a house party where she was taken advantage of by both Combs and Carter. She didn't have a ticket, but she was determined to get into the scene. She began approaching limo drivers outside, hoping for a lucky break. Then, one driver allegedly told her exactly what she wanted to hear. He claimed he worked for Diddy, and according to the suit, he told her she fit what Diddy was looking for. He told her to come back later, after he dropped off the star and promised her a spot at a private after-party. She came back, and that's when everything took a sinister turn. The driver picked her up and, after about 20 minutes, brought her to a white house with a U-shaped driveway. Once there, she was reportedly made to sign a document she believed was a non-disclosure agreement, though she never got a copy. Inside, the scene was wild. The lawsuit says celebrities packed the place, with open substance abuse everywhere. She was offered a drink, and that's when her body began to betray her. This was precisely when Combs and Carter walked in, and what happened next was just horrifying. According to the accuser, she managed to stop one part of the assault by hitting Combs in the neck, as he allegedly tried to force her. The suit says he backed off, but the trauma had already unfolded. She grabbed her clothes, fled the house, and found her way to a nearby gas station, where she made a desperate call to her father. Years later, the woman mustered up the courage and began seeking unspecified damages under New York's Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. Once these details came out, Jay-Z's legal team pushed back hard. In a fiery motion, they asked the judge to force the accuser to reveal her identity or throw the whole thing out. Their argument here was that Carter was being dragged through the mud in public, while his accuser remained in the shadows.
Not uncommon to see, but Jay-Z now thinks this is an extortionate plot, and he says, in order to unearth all of this and unmask it all, we now need to know the identity of that person, and since it happened in 2000, she's obviously of age now.
The motion claims the alleged acts supposedly happened in full view of witnesses who could refute her claims if only they knew who she was. And there's more. The lawsuit accused Carter of retaliating behind the scenes. According to Doe's lawyers, they reached out to Carter for a private mediation before refiling the case. But instead of engaging, they say Carter clapped back by filing a frivolous lawsuit of his own. The goal was to shut her down and keep Jay-Z's name out of the headlines. But that plan backfired. Fueled by what she calls Carter's egregious conduct, the accuser doubled down and filed the amended lawsuit anyway. But that's not the entire story. You see, in a blistering response sent to CNN, Jay-Z called the mediation request from Doe's attorney a blackmail attempt. Jay-Z's lawyer also came out to publicly label the prosecutor's claims as false, since he believes the facts simply don't add up.
No, she's doubled down on certain of these details. She says, I'm positive. She points out the tattoo. She talks about the tattoo in vivid detail. Turns out that's...
On top of that, Jay-Z threw some serious shade at the lawyer, claiming, I've done a bit of research on this lawyer, and he seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. But it was Jay-Z's emotional statement that really hit home. As the headlines swirled and fingers pointed, he revealed the most painful part of the ordeal, his kids. One of them, at that tender age when schoolyard gossip turns brutal, was about to face the storm. My wife and I will have to explain the cruelty and greed of people, he said, the frustration palpable. For the hip-hop titan, this was deeply personal. Now for a while, the headlines wouldn't stop, and neither would the name dropping. One by one, celebrities in Diddy's orbit started getting dragged into the chaos. But wait, just when you think things couldn't get any crazier, CNN dropped another bombshell. In November 2024, an anonymous male celebrity filed a bombshell lawsuit against Tony Busby, accusing the attorney of running a twisted extortion scheme. The celebrity claimed Busby and his firm were trying to blackmail him for exorbitant sums, or they would unleash a series of wildly false and horrific allegations. It doesn't stop there. This man also claimed Busby threatened to fabricate multiple instances of non-consensual behavior involving minors. Busby came out swinging. After being accused of extortion, he took to Instagram with a sharp rebuke, blasting the claims as a blatant attempt to silence survivors. We won't let the powerful and their pricey lawyers bully victims into silence, he wrote, loud and clear. Then, in an email to CNN, he threw even more shade, questioning the logic behind Carter's strategy. If you're trying to stay anonymous this and swear you did nothing wrong, this is a strange way to prove it. He promised the truth would unravel in time, hinting that things were just getting started. Then came another twist no one saw coming. In 2025, the anonymous woman who accused Jay-Z and Diddy of taking advantage of her when she was just 13 voluntarily dismissed her lawsuit. A filing in federal court confirmed the case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it couldn't be brought again.
Why? Well, it's going away entirely, and they did not give a reason, but the defense for Jay-Z and for Sean Combs had said there were glaring inconsistencies.
Busby stayed quiet, declining to comment on her decision. As for Combs, he's behind bars in Brooklyn, facing a criminal trial on May 5th for many violent crimes, and the hits keep coming. He's not just facing headlines. Combs is drowning in civil lawsuits, with victims lining up and many backed by Busby's firm. Still, Diddy's sticking to his script, denying every claim and painting himself as the real victim in a smear campaign. As for Carter, the Doe lawsuit was the only one daring enough to name him, and he crushed it. The case was dismissed, and Jay-Z didn't miss a beat. Today is a victory, he announced triumphantly through Roc Nation, making it crystal clear that he saw the whole thing as a sham. But he didn't keep it just business. Carter opened up about the emotional wreckage behind the scenes, how the case shook his home, and how he and Beyoncé had to brace their kids for the media storm. Combs' lawyers weren't backing down either. They kept insisting that Diddy never so much as laid a finger on anyone. But the drama doesn't end there. While Combs sits behind bars in New York, a new storm is brewing. His superstar friends, like Jay-Z, may soon find themselves in the spotlight.
It's interesting. Do you expect we are going to be seeing other celebrity names added and refiled in other lawsuits involving Diddy?
I do. Legal experts suggest the pressure could force them to testify in Combs' looming trial. Niyama Rahmani, a former prosecutor, said Jay-Z and other celebs might get subpoenaed, but if they're smart, they'll invoke the Fifth to dodge any self-incrimination. Those connected to Diddy's alleged freak-off parties, however, might not be so lucky. They could find themselves called to testify, but only if they weren't involved in the alleged acts. Combs has rubbed elbows with some of the biggest names in the industry, including Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Usher, and Justin Bieber. His infamous 50th birthday bash in 2019 had A-listers like Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Snoop Dogg in attendance. Now, with his case still hanging in the balance, all eyes are on Combs' glittering inner circle.